OpTic versus Karmine Corp.
And you know OpTic Gaming salivating at the idea of getting revenge up against KC. They met previously in the Switch stage. It was a sweep, and they're here to prove their worth as a team and their ability to battle back against a team that was so dominant against them earlier on.
Here we go. Only one team can survive and advance to face the Falcons tomorrow with a spot in the top 8 on the line. Nolly was awesome when they met in the wild card stage. He had 8 goals to lead everybody by a vast margin as KCorp swept OG. Will it be a different story now as we got the Ecto meta from Aleutian?
And if we look previously at worked out in their matchup against Furia, and what was so difficult for Karmine Corp to handle was the defense stopping and shutting down Astro. He was held scoreless against Furia. Didn't get a single goal to his name. And he's the MVP. There comes a demo. Follow up from Dries, and then Alu with the shot. Top corner and in.
Great start here for OpTic Gaming. You see the pressure. Missed with the initial flick into the demo. Dries plays it high and leaves Alu with a free lane. Top left corner swat as OpTic start things off.
So it's Dries with the Ecto. It's never gonna not look ridiculous, but it worked out. The assist on the opening goal. And there goes Astral. Looking to get one back immediately. Always a heavy scoring threat. As mentioned, it was Nolly. Last time out. He has been great, as has Astral. Itachi, the story perhaps of this team with his long history getting to this very moment. He's on the ball right now, trying to set up Astral. Nolly coming in from behind, and he's gonna have to wait for that lateral pass.
Oh.
That's interrupted by Alu.
Here we go, defense standing tall from OpTic Gaming. Look at the passes between each other. But not another shot, it's saved, but rolls in anyway. Not enough power on the touch.
Missed with the power. Hands that off to Dries. Dries says, take it right back. And he tests the defense. Astro can get the touch on the goal line, but if he can't stop the ball, it's just another goal for OpTic.
Even if it doesn't fall in, there were bodies waiting to slam that one home. OpTic with a 2-goal lead to start things off. Couldn't ask for anything better. In the first 90 seconds of a series, they must win to keep their World Championship hopes alive. Missed! Shot saved away by Astral this time. Follow up here though, and that's gonna be bounced away.
So close there, lots of good chances again, but you're seeing Mist here offensive-wise stepping up. That's huge for OpTic. Again, we all know the potential with Mist when he gets on the ball, but right now, you see Karmine Corp, they're looking for a way in. 3 minutes remaining. OpTic with an incredible start to the season.
Wow, and OpTic Gaming are faster in the air. You would normally assume KCorp with the speed and mechanics on their side would be dominant with that aerial gameplay, and it seems though OpTic Gaming have confidence when they're going for these air dribbles, winning 50-50s. That's a big one in the corner, but still holding possession is OpTic Gaming in the midfield.
Confidence going to be a big factor for both these teams, and you wonder maybe if the confidence has been shaken from Karmine Corp after an absolutely dominant wildcard stage. They only dropped 1 game. They run into the wall. That was Furia as that's bounced away out of the corner. And late follow-up from Itachi, trying to drop one down. Astral just a little too slow, lagging behind on the play.
Organization lacking on the side of Karmine. There was a good chance in a drop-down pass, no follow-up. But here they are again, transition down. Nolly off the ceiling. Then Itachi fires on the net off the backboard. No follow-up again, but they keep possession and hold on to this, looking to add to their tallies of shots.
Great awareness from Mist. He saw Itachi coming up, decided to get that block out, but now KCorp still looking to move downfield. You're seeing Alu, he has to try to chase that down. Now the ball into the corner where Itachi is trying to look for a way in, but the defense from OpTic has been very set. They haven't really let too much go. You talked about Eternal shutting down Astral.
Yes.
Not too many shot chances, but here's Itachi looking for a chance. Missed a great 50. It's going to bounce off the sidewall, and Alu will put it back in the midfield for now.
There had only been 1 shutout when they met previously, and of course, part of that 4-0 sweep. KCorp shut down OpTic completely in Game 4. It is a vastly different story now. Missed just a little bit faster than Nolly, but only as far as Astral. Bring it in, try and drop one down for Itachi, and the defense is not rattled at all by KCorp's attack.
The best way to break down OpTic Gaming is going to be consecutive shots. That's what G2 did so wonderfully in their matchup. They were able to thread the needle several times, get a couple shots in. And with those passes, with the onslaught of shots, eventually you will break through, because Mist, he can get 1 save, but to get back in time again for the 3rd, 4th shot, it's highly unlikely.
You can see as we approach the final minute, OpTic low on boost right now as KCorp trying to move upfield. And even though Karmine Corp had consistent pressure, and they've been able to keep this in the orange box for a while, their drives to come up empty. Astro will leave that for Itachi, trying to get the communication, trying to make sure that they have enough boost, but they have to make the most out of these drive stacks. 40 seconds left in game, they're down by 2.
Another brick in the wall as the defense from OpTic has been stifling. This is bounced off of Alu, and Astro forced to play under a lot of duress right in front of his own net, down to 25 seconds now. And Breeze bringing it right back in for Mist, and what a save by Nolly, at least giving KCorp a chance, but they've only got 15 seconds, and they just cannot escape the blue half of the field. Mist coming to the corner, and he can burn a lot more time away.
Long clear, final 10 seconds. This one is gonna fall into the blue end, and it starts where it finishes with OpTic in control on the offense. A great start for them. Everything happening in game 1 in favor of OpTic Gaming.
Yes, sir. Lovely performance out of these 3 boys. Didn't have to do too much work, I'd say, on the defensive side. There were, of course, some fantastic saves, 5 in total for OpTic, 4 to KCorp, but I wouldn't say they got stretched too thin, able to find solid rotations back and forth between each other. And this, at the end of the day, is what they'd hope for. Not too many shots to deal with. KCorp would put 1, maybe 2 quality shots on net, but then wouldn't press forward with anybody else as that third man.
Big things to take away here is Astro, only 2 shots out of him. 64 points from Noli. Zeros across the board there. Things just seem not to work here for Karmine Corp.
After the first couple days of the wild card, there was a lot of talk about, all right, well, if we want an MVP candidate, Astral fits the bill.
He's been quiet.
But he has been very quiet over the last couple series, or at least the last series and the first game here today.
Right, and now looking at this series here for OpTic, it seems like, again, that preparation work, that game plan for them is paying off here. So it really comes down to seeing how things work as this series continues on.
And we are seeing that same level of shutdown against Astral in the Dickies Arena.
This is awesome.
This is absolutely ridiculous. The biggest stage these players have ever dealt with. And we got a wave going on in the background. Can't ask for much more out of these crowds.
Oh, is this one going to go for a half hour too? Let's go.
Come on. But we do head to Aquadome for game number 2. KCorp, ball's in their court to make some adjustments, and you'd like to see Astral get more involved.
You'd also want to see that consistency if you're an OpTic fan. They figured things out at the start, but this is a best of 7. Plenty of time for adjustments to be made. So far, you see KCorp coming out of this one with some strong offensive strides, looking for a bump. But again, OpTic able to turn things around. If OpTic can continue the scoring run, because the scoring didn't necessarily stop towards the end of game 1, maybe Karmine Corp at this point can get back into things.
And normally I preach the word of quality over quantity, but against OpTic Gaming and how good of a defender Mist is with those goal line saves, you have to bait him out of the net. You have to get that player involved in the defense early, then put some shots on. There's a shot from OpTic Gaming, a big transition. They don't find a solid goal, of course, but getting some possession and turning this thing around is definitely what they're here for.
A lot of similarities in how you would attack version 1, how you would attack OpTic. Get the lead defender away from the net.
Take him out.
They've just not been able to do that at all. Breeze could make that save, and Itachi will get the first goal for KCorp.
And they figure it out. You see Astral again with space. Itachi goes up, it's a light touch. Everyone from OpTic trying to get a piece of that ball, but no one able to make contact.
I think they were expecting the initial save to come out. That's the only reason Mist wasn't on his horse, trying to get there as quick as he could. Defense let him down, and OpTic fall behind. Itachi redirects is just off.
Defense from OpTic Gaming now being tested. Breeze looking for a 50-50 hungry here as the touch does go behind Mist. And then good back pass to keep possession. Keeping it between themselves, it looks a bit dangerous, but there's all the space on the field for Breeze to get the boost. Nobody's even pressing them at this moment. Finally, one does come, it's Astral. We've got some solid shots, but it's just been back and forth between the midfield and trying to play these corners out as KC.
Kind of rare to see Breeze without a lot of boost because he's been very conservative with his boost.
Big demo.
Throughout the wild card, and Itachi will dump this one in. So at least somebody's shown up for the blue wall as Itachi lights up the scoreboard.
It was only a matter of time. Look at that. Great touch from Itachi, but Karmine Corp's offense there, the entire premise of it was just put OpTic, lock them into their own half, take all their boost, and just bully them until they get things going.
Astral.
Oh!
You talk about bullying, Daz. I think Astral is here packing a punch. This one, he got his flip off the backboard, and he uses it the last second he can. And that one stings if you're OpTic Gaming.
Astral and Itachi now tied at 18 goals apiece, including the wild card stage. And now Alu looking to get some of his own. Oh, another shot from Itachi, and threes barely got to this one, but there it is. Shot after shot, not letting them out of the zone after that initial save. They do this time, though Dries will leave it for miss. His shot is a little wide, and Itachi had to make sure.
OpTic was going for a quick counterattack, but KCorp able to get back in time, even when they think they catch him out and they get that pressure. Karmine Corp have definitely made adjustments here. Halfway through game 2, it's 3-0. It's a completely different vibe, energy here on Aquadome.
And if we reflect back onto game number 1, what worked out for OpTic Gaming? Small touches right after you cross the midfield line. You remember the give and go that worked out in their favor. It opened up space, and a lot of KC were predicting earlier shots and gave them that space. And it seems as though OpTic Gaming don't want to use it as much in game number 2 in Aquadome.
Well, OpTic found a crack in the blue wall. It has been shored up significantly, as it's been all KCorp here on Aquadome. Nolly looking to get involved in the act as well. And Alu beats Astral to the punch. This goes towards the KCorp back wall. Dries will leave it for missed, and maybe not by design, as OpTic are sent packing.
You can tell things have improved here with the rotation from Karmine Corp. They're not letting much through on OpTic, and OpTic have to make the most of their opportunities.
Okay.
He missed.
Okay.
Oh, it's off. Follow-up will go in. Alu sets it up, and Miss knocks it in.
And we get some control out of OpTic Gaming. That first touch from Illusion, past one defender, past 2, off the crossbar, and Mist is there to be an example of how to finish a shot.
Well, here we go. Can OpTic mount a monumental comeback? Answer's no.
Oh, no.
Astral off the kickoff, caught him napping.
They gave him one, but KCorp strike back twice as hard. Look at the cheat. Dries, he saw Astral was trying to get in front of him. Astral with the dodge on the demo and able to get that kickoff goal, and it's back to a 3-goal lead.
Well, at least everybody had 100 boosts to celebrate that goal they gave up. 1 minute 30 to go now, as this goes right back into the OpTic half of the field, and Dries will have to collect from the corner. He did get that corner boost, but Itachi still onto the ball, still bringing it back in via Nolly, and KCorp pick it up right where they left off. They took a break for a moment to concede 1 goal, just to give them a little bit of hope. But now here goes Itachi, and he thought about it, backs away, doesn't need to be hyper aggressive now with a 3-goal lead. A minute to go, all the work's been done for KCorp here in game 2.
The grip has loosened a bit on the offensive side. I haven't seen as much of a tight and dominant control, but still up by 3 goals is going to be KCorp. And they play the way I've anticipated coming into game 2. A lot of shots consecutively in a row. They're trying to make sure that OpTic Gaming spread thin with their defense, and Astral going for some more mechanical plays off the backboard. KCorp have found their stride, and they're getting comfortable on the pitch.
So 30 seconds remaining in game 2. And we see another pass.
Follow-up.
Good follow-up, like you said, from Itachi. Now Mist, trying to see if he can do things all himself. Leaves that one, it goes straight down, but no one there to be able to put that in. And as time ticks down, KCorp have woken up, so to speak, in this series. This one, all the blue wall. As the final few seconds tick down, Astral play it off the back wall. Noli puts it in midfield, and OpTic will try to see if they can get one more in regulation. That one's set to hit the ground, and it will. We got a tied up series.
The rivalry as old as Rocket League esports itself, Europe versus North America. 5-1 in favor of EU so far here at Worlds. Nothing, though, between KCorp and OpTic Gaming. 2 games in. 1 dominant performance out of OG, 1 dominant performance out of KC.
And the series has balanced out. And you would expect that when these 2 teams are facing elimination in the group stage. You lose this series and you are going home Give everything you've got. Leave it all there on the field. As now we take a look at the Mobile 1 high-performance replay. A really good setup there from Itachi. I think he had a standout performance to just get the ball rolling and then eventually allow Astro, who has not held scoreless in this series now, 2 goals to his name.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, Karmine Corp have to wake up here. Like we said, elimination match. You have to be able to bring your all, make those adjustments, and for them, this is the exact response everyone on the desk who had went with OpTic, or Karmine Corp, expected to see.
Yeah.
Them finally being able to lock in and play together.
I have one demand now. I believe we've finally had our first L from the Ecto in RLCS history.
Okay.
So Dries must get off the Ecto.
He's got to swap, right?
Let everybody down.
He's back on the Octane.
Let's see what we got here.
I want to say he's back on the Octane, but
yeah, he's got to be back on the Octane. I'm pretty sure he went out and came back. He is definitely on the Octane, and here we go. Dries out of the corner to start things off, and he has Astral right in his face. Here comes Nolly again, and it doesn't look like KCorp have even had a break in between games.
No, they're looking to end things right here. You almost see a play develop there. Nolly with the start. And Nolly strikes first for Karmine Corp.
I mean, from the kickoff, 19 seconds in, it has been all Karmine Corp. A solid challenge from Dries, but the clear's going nowhere. Alu's stuck in the net, doesn't know what's happening, can't recover in time, doesn't get the challenge, and then it's a free one for KC.
Nolly started off slow in this series, but starts strong in game 3. And you have to leave it all out there. He's showing up for his team, but can he keep consistent? See KCorp looking for a couple of passes in. OpTic struggling to get control of this game.
Nolly absolutely owned OpTic Gaming the first time they met. Now he gets his first goal in game 3. It's been Itachi that has been the superstar here, and it just seems like it's a different guy every series, almost every game for Karmine Corp. A vicious three-headed beast as that one's set out to the corner by Astral, and Nolly will send it down the side, but Mist is right there to meet him, doing a lot of his defense at midfield rather than right in front of the net.
Demo from Mist could open up some space. Alu now up for the challenge, and look at how confidently Nolly wins that and has allowed KCorp to move forward just because of that one challenge. Then Astral gets a shot on the net. It's off the post, but all of this play stemmed from that one challenge out of Nolly.
KCorp making the most out of the room that they're able to get, but it's still a 1-goal game, and OpTic are trying to mount that counterattack, but will they be able to do so? As Itachi has a lot of time, 34 boost, use the flip. It's a great challenge from Dries, gets it past Astral.
He's got space, 2v1.
Nolly's up early, Mist trying to get it around him, but it's a great challenge for Nolly. Alu will try to play this in the corner, but with that clear from Astral, it's gonna give KCorp a lot of space.
Another demo. The physical play has been prevalent here, and it almost yielded a goal. Missed with another miraculous save off the respawn, falling back into his own net, and now Itachi gonna take this himself. He's over one, going for the bump. Astral there too, and just not enough for KCorp to expand their lead, but it still is early. It feels like so much more time has elapsed, but OpTic Gaming has all the time in the world to get back in it.
You're right, Stacks. It's not enough to expand their lead, but this is everything that they want out of this series, out of this game. They're fine with a 1-0 lead so long as they can keep pressure and applying it as frequently as possible. But a big transition play does work out in favor of OpTic Gaming. Missed on the challenge, wins it, and then Dries is out of position. We're back down the other end. OpTic Gaming, they might connect 1, maybe 2 passes max, but holding pressure, it seems like they can't even do such a thing.
I mean, but both teams doing really good in some of these 2v1 situations we've seen out. Alu was last back after both teams challenged in the corner. He's able to buy some time. Missed though. Right foot! Missed! Coming in when the team needs it.
Far and few between are these shots, but here comes Mist into the top corner. If he's just getting one look at it, he's gonna make it count. Crossbar and down, all tied up.
We talk about Mist for his defense time and time again, but it's his offense that has been superb for OpTic here at Worlds. His 3rd goal here is 24th of the tournament.
That was
leads the team.
His first shot too.
Yeah, crazy. He is wildly efficient as Dries will drop one down to Alu. This goes all the way across where Mist is going to be waiting for Astral off the backboard, no pressure. And 1v3s, trying to quickly counter, but the pass not able to find Alu.
We just simply need more on these clears. They've got to find a teammate. It's one punch forward, but then it's given into the hands of KCorp, who are abusing the backboard. All three players from OpTic scrambling, and they find one big clear, but still nobody moving forward. They don't have the boost to sacrifice and move up.
Not a lot of boost, and you can tell the touches are just getting away from OpTic. They're going for the long clears to see if they can get some space, but lack of follow-up only pushes them into their own end more and more as they try to get a way out. Alu flick over, does get it past Astral, and will play it into the corner. So now OpTic with a chance here. Going into the final minute, they're looking for a way in. They're looking to take the lead here in this series, but KCorp has been making it tough on them.
How about that effort from Alu, too, with Astral chasing him all around the field, having to weave through traffic. And Alu scores here with 49 to go. Put the team on his shoulders.
Look at this 50-50, dead center of the field, but it's OpTic Gaming who comes out victorious, and they can get a shot as a result.
Alu just gets a little piece of that, able to put enough power behind it that even though KCorp rotates back in time, they're too little too late, and now the pressure's on them. 45 seconds, they gotta try to equalize.
Hard to imagine that anybody from that old Allegiance roster would still be at the peak level that they're at today.
Missed, no way.
He sets up trees. It's missed with the assist, and OpTic up 2.
Look at Nick Costello work. He takes it all into his own hands, and Dries just has to follow it up. You asked for it, Turtle, you got it. OpTic playing as a team as they take this game and put it in their hands.
They have finally been able to find each other, Daz, on the other side, off the kickoff still, holding some pressure. They were under so many shots, so much pressure themselves on defense, but buried themselves out of it and are able to be efficient on the offensive side. While they haven't had too many shots, when they get presented an opportunity, they will make it count.
Final countdown of game 3 as OpTic seem to have it in the bag. They fight back, come from behind, and take a 2-1 series lead as the green wall is halfway to surviving and advancing.
Keep this one up. They don't hit the ground finally. 2-1 is the series score in favor of OpTic. We saw the player interviews, we saw Astral. They were confident coming into this series, but now they're scratching their heads. Yep. You said it yourself, limiting Astral was needed. He had no shots this game, Turtle.
And while they were under all that pressure, if Astral's not getting a good look at the net, KCorp's offense has been severely injured. And it seems as though OpTic Gaming are going with that play style, trying to get in front of Astral specifically and let the other shots come through. Hope you can get the goal line save and be efficient on that transition, which they absolutely have been.
Astral left without a shot again. KCorp is going to take a timeout here. Earlier than we're used to seeing teams take it in a 2-1 series, but I kind of like it here because you've got a KCorp team that they know they're better than this offensively. They know that they can run up the score against OpTic. They have not been able to. It's been Mist, who has been phenomenal offensively for OG. They've got to find a way to slow him down.
Yeah, that's going to be tough, too, because Mist seems like he's been playing very consistently over the course of this series, and I think for KCorp, the timeout definitely needed. They want to talk things out. They want to do it before it gets to a match point situation, Turtle. They just have to be able to kind of be on the same page and share the ball a little bit.
I don't see a problem at all with this timeout. They could tell that OpTic Gaming had momentum because that series, the first half, you're thinking, okay, this is just a ticking time bomb for when KCorp are going to take the win eventually. They had all the shots, they had all the pressure. It came down to one play, one opportunity for Mist, and that shifted all the energy on that stage. OpTic Gaming took advantage of it. Now they're the ones in favor, and for KCorp, they want to stop that, kill the momentum early on before things get too out of hand.
Because they can't get out of hand very quickly.
Yes, they can.
On this stage, in front of this audience.
But don't forget, they are denying Astral right now, but don't forget what that man is capable of, okay? Yep. You could throw 3 players at him like they are right now with OpTic Gaming, and he could probably still outplay you 50% of the time with a 1v3. Astral is just that dang good, and if he starts to heat up in this series, it might be the end for OpTic Gaming, so be cautious of that dangerous player.
Yeah. He and Itachi both have 2 goals in this series. It's not like they've been stifled, but at times, yes, they have kind of disappeared back into the magician's hat and vanished They've got to be ever present now with KCorp getting close to having their backs against the wall.
And with Astro being quiet, I mean, Itachi has what it takes to step up. He scored 7 goals in their series against Furia. So that man alone can put the team on his back. It's going to require all 3 of them as we're headed into game number 4.
When your life is on the line on the world stage, you got to make the most out of every second. And you see KCorp, they're trying to do so now, already starting off with some offense, putting a shot on, gets a double commit, great 50 from Astro, almost able to find the back of the net, but it's just off target.
He did get a boost deal though, going out of the corner. That could slow down OpTic greatly. They do have boost to work with. Maybe a little fortunate that KCorp weren't able to starve them out very early on. Astro coming in, that's Itachi. Nolly waiting back at midfield, trying to get around Mist, and Mist, I think, slowed him down just enough to keep him off the scoreboard.
Chance here, Dries trying to put a shot on, and Itachi able to save it out. It'll go to the corner where Astro has the ball. He'll pass it to Nolly. Nolly, Astro looking for a demo, forcing Alu up quickly. And you see Itachi, not really the best aerial there. Dries 50ing it down. Mist trying to help out, but Mist is out of boost. Has to go back.
Wow.
OpTic have to retreat. KCorp get some time here.
And look at the 50s. That was 2 consecutive wins in a row from Dries. That stalled all the time for his teammates to get back, get some corner boost, rotate into position to keep this pressure alive. And that's why you've seen them thrive on offense. They don't get a goal as a result, but it's got to be depleting the energy of KCorp. Here comes Mist out of his own corner. This could be a good take, and doesn't find it as he looks for Dries.
Dries looking for help and finding none.
Oh, it's a big clear. That's a big clear.
What a pick! Astro gets on the scoreboard from way downtown.
No one home for OpTic Gaming, and Astro will send it all the way downfield. You gotta protect the net, and OpTic failed to do so.
I'm not too surprised as well. This happened a lot for OpTic Gaming against G2. They were able to smack the ball, get huge clears that would go off the backboard. Nobody had time to rotate because of the size of the clear, and OpTic Gaming might be too eager to find the first goal, as it does go in favor of KCorp.
KCorp getting out to a great start, following their timeout. Timeouts, you know, we've seen so often teams have been able to turn series around with them. Not the case with KCorp. They're yet to win a game after calling a timeout. 0 for 3 so far, but promising start in game 4. Has almost got away, but Nolly's there. The defense, or the offense, getting a little lackadaisical there for KCorp and allowing OpTic to get a cheap shot on net. As Alu has to get around Astral. Itachi coming in, low 50, and Alu is there to help out. But only until Astral gets back into the play, crossbar, and popped away.
Only able to make it back in time quickly, ends up getting bumped on the play, helps out the momentum. But now the passes are coming out from OpTic. Still haven't been able to score yet in game 4. Dries trying to start that off. Chance there for a follow-up, but blocked out. KCorp double commit to stop Alu from taking that shot.
Now, I have seen a few spacing issues out of KCorp. 2 players on top of each other frequently and finding themselves in the same rotation. That's a dangerous look if you are KC or a fan of them. You're going to need to be careful, make sure everybody's spaced in the field, and have that challenge perfectly timed for when a shot does come in out of OpTic Gaming. They've been dealing with more pressure than ever before, but still they are holding OpTic Gaming scoreless.
This pace feels like it favors OpTic. Everybody has been able to play kind of slowly and methodically. Nobody's been starved out. Missed. Lip resets it away on the crisscrossing double commit.
There it is.
From Alu ties it.
There we go. You said it. You can't give this team time. Mist has the whole defense jumping, and Alu gets the right touch when it matters.
We've got Nolly and Astral. The communication not there. Both players going for the same save. They have been finding themselves in the same spot, same rotation, can't space the field, and because of it, now you're all tied up.
Oh, that's a good carry.
Looking for more, and denied this time by the blue wall that has suddenly found themselves in a tie game in the final 90 seconds, and maybe yet another slipping away from KCorp. Mist coming on, won't get around for a shot, and he couldn't leave it for Alu either as Astral's there. He's been so quick in this game, guys, but it has not been enough for KCorp.
You can see OpTic looking for a breakout. They are not waiting on KCorp to figure things out. As Itachi, that's a tough challenge. Goes straight to Astro. Does get a good initial touch.
Off the ceiling.
Does he have the read? Whoa, it's blocked out. Dries denies.
Dries had to find that read early on. We've come down to the final minute in game number 4. All tied up. Do we get sent into OT, or does one player make that move downfield and end things early?
Dries maybe looking for what could be a golden goal at this point. A
Double
goal
tap,
here
double
would be
tap.
tough to come back from. Astro's shots wide and deflected out to the corner, where Mist is going to concede the boost to a teammate. That's great heads-up comms there at the back, under a lot of duress now. Astral didn't have it. Nolly does, up high, and Alu will just flick it away. It's good enough to keep KCorp at bay for now. 15 seconds though. Astral right back to work. A second flip reset, and there is Alu for the save with the final 7 seconds before overtime. And it looks like we're headed there as this is bounced out.
Pass out.
In front, and Itachi with the save.
Still up.
Dries has got to bring it to ground, and we have
a shot.
Winner! No! Off the crossbar! We get overtime on Utopia!
Noli tried to end it in regulation. The shot didn't work out. Now Mist gets a free ball off a kickoff, and OpTic can play this overtime where things look dire. They're still in.
Let's see how Alu deals with this one off the corner. He's been winning so many 50-50s, the challenge game, in favor of OpTic Gaming. But mechanics are on the side of KCorp, as we saw Astral get a flip reset, even at the last second, almost a shot towards the net, crossbar down. KCorp looks strong mechanically, but OpTic Gaming, the defense is holding strong.
The difference here between a match point situation for OpTic and KCorp tying up the series.
Good pass.
Middle. Astral tries to get a piece of it. Missed. The only low on boost. Has to buy some time and does with that clear. OpTic able to get some space out in front. They're looking for a way, and you see Mist trying to get some demos out. Dries takes the boost and goes back, but he's the only one on his team with boost. He's gonna have to stop KCorp's advance, and he does so with a couple of great challenges as a minute goes by in overtime.
Not the biggest fan of Mist kind of chasing that deep into the KCorp corner. He didn't have any boost, and there was not gonna be any for him to take, but it worked out. It didn't cost OpTic yet. This goes back, wins the game. Now Astral, he worked on it. Put another one on the whiff counter, and here comes Mist. Here comes OpTic, only as far as Noli.
Alu.
Blocked by Alu. And now, from the backcourt, that in the way. Drop down for Dries, and still Itachi, through traffic, manages to save KCorp.
KCorp under pressure, communication seems to be better. Haven't seen too many double commits in the OT, but they've definitely had to deal with their fair share of pressure. And Nolly does give this one away to Mist. Itachi's looking for a clear, intercepted, and you've got two players driving around looking for a bump, and we're headed back down the other side. Both teams exchanging blows.
And they're doing it fast too. No room for error here. As Itachi bumps into Mist trying to play that out. Astral picks this up, and it's an open field here. Noli pass.
Midfield pass.
Shot. Bang! Karmine Corp tie up the series.
That's it. That's all it took. One midfield pass, one on-target shot, and we end it here. All tied up. KCorp have battled back.
They just sent KCorp an invitation, gave them all the time in the world. And what a pass over to Itachi. His third strike, and more importantly, ties up the series for KCorp.
Wow.
Their first win after a timeout. It couldn't come at a better time.
Oh boy, oh boy.
We got a series.
We
got
just
a series.
guaranteed game 6 situation.
Great.
As KCorp end up battling back and figuring things out.
Yeah.
But my goodness, even then, it went to distance, Turtle.
I don't want to be that guy, but no bias, everything aside, I wanted to see the double flip reset from Astral. That would have been one of the craziest passes I think I've ever seen. I'm still thinking about that, even after we get into a couple of minutes of OT. And we'll see what KCorp were able to manage. There was a few saves here and there, but all came down to one opportunity, one gap in the defense from OpTic Gaming, who look to be rock solid so far.
It does seem like, OpTic has definitely been improved, much improved since the last time these two teams have matched up. In that game in particular, it looked like OpTic was kind of dictating the control, the pace for a little bit. But then once Karmine Corp kind of got things rolling, you could see it. Over time, things are intense, teams exchanging back and forth drives, And KCorp thrive in that environment, and they showed it there.
After it looked like we were destined for Champions Field about an hour ago, there is nothing between KCorp and OpTic, and maybe we could be headed there this time. We know they'll at least get 6, as Daz mentioned. And there is another tally mark on the whiff counter, as Astral's gonna go up to the sky. He's got Itachi to his left, or to his right rather. Couldn't hit him. Alu avoided by Nolly, and this shot's gonna be well off the mark. Alu trying to bring it back in. Couldn't quite get in Astral's way, but it is OpTic with the upper hand to start off Game 5 on Wasteland.
Good aggression from OpTic Gaming. See Mist, who's dominantly that third man, actually getting aggressive and up early to the challenges. Alu. Then back down the other side, Itachi, a big clear, goes in his favor. And I'm curious, what are we gonna get out of KCorp? Do they try and thread the needle again with more midfield passes? I think that OpTic Gaming are certainly going to recover and fix a lot of those tight issues, which is why I think we're seeing more and more offense from them. But slowly, it seems as though they lose stamina throughout the game, as the last game started in favor of OpTic, but towards the end of it, and of course the OT, KCorp were all over them.
Karmine, Corp, and OpTic have done nothing short than, I think, shocked and made their mark on a lot of us over the course of the last few months, including the Spring Major and now the World Championship. But only one of these teams can continue to move on. As Astral passes to Itachi again, this one will fall into that back wall. 3:30 left here, as we're still scoreless in Game 5.
Pressure has been critically important. That lack of pressure from the OpTic defense was what sunk them in that overtime. This is bounced right back towards Itachi, a little awkward, but Astral was there for the pass, could not get the shot off. And now Nolly away from Alu towards Astral. Could be dangerous, but again, bounced out to the corner.
Another midfield pass.
Well defended by OG this time around. That demo, though, opens things up, and Astral couldn't get on top of it for a shot on target. Missed opportunity for KCorp. Here comes OpTic.
It's so reminiscent of the G2 playstyle when KCorp get on offense. You go from corner to corner, prioritizing the midfield passes, early connections, and then you get a shot on net. It broke down OpTic Gaming. It might now be able to break them down again, but they are scoreless. Defense showing up out of OpTic, and they have to, otherwise they're looking at elimination here in Game 5.
Waiting to see if Mist can get back into the fray. Offensively, his shot there denied by Itachi. Didn't have a lot behind it, so an easy stop. And now Astral dancing through the defense. Mist is right there, though. Final boss at the end. Could not overcome him. Double commit there, though, from OpTic. That leaves Illusion all alone, and Nolly almost made him pay the price for it.
You can see KCorp slowly starting to turn things on. They're not letting OpTic have too much free time. Tough save there, but Alu makes the follow-up from Nolly's off target. And Astral looking to take control, but KCorp have had this ball in OpTic's half for so long. That being said, they still haven't been able to have a successful drive, and now we finally get to see what OpTic looks like when they break out.
You remember what happened before whenever KCorp looked this strong and held this much pressure. It was one opportunity, one transition from Mist, who was able to battle back, but a double commit might lead into an opportunity if Nolly's fast enough. Top corner and down, and they will look to hold possession.
That costly double commit from OpTic. Maybe a little lucky that it was not any worse, but it did cost them field position. Cost them possession as well. They're back on it. Missed. Lined one up for threes, but it did not yield any result. Nolly has his pocket picked. And Alu could go up for this. Instead, he's going to opt to stay on the ground. And now Drees waiting to stop Itachi. And Astral with a backflip. That gives OpTic a chance, but then they double commit. A little bit of my turn offense almost turned into KCorp's offense. Down to 45 seconds. And OpTic need to find a way to get out of their own way.
Here they go.
Drees not able to do much with it. Time ticking down. Chance here, we could go scoreless into overtime. But OpTic on that press, they're looking for a way in.
And what a 50 from Alu to hold possession. Moving forward, get the 180 on what was actually happening in favor of KCorp. And this ball has been grounded. Haven't seen it float up too much. I think if we're going to play the dribble game, I'd have to give the advantage to KCorp, but you never know what these players out of OpTic Gaming are capable of. Midfield passes back and forth.
Oh, no.
Next, and then there's a big miss. Then the follow-up saved from miss. It's still on target, off the post, and it's in. Itachi able to capitalize. 4 seconds left, and KCorp go up.
They out-pressure him. They don't turn off the ball. KCorp now. 4 seconds left. It seems like they have this one in the bag.
2 critical mistakes at the end of the last 2 games from OpTic Gaming, and they will not recover from this one either. KCorp on match point.
What a way to turn this around.
Ridiculous.
What a way. As KCorp has fought their way throughout this series, OpTic have been playing on another level, have been matching their energy and their pace, but Karmine Corp will play things down to the last second. If it's in overtime, they'll play that too. They are not afraid to go all the way here, as they're 1 game away from moving on.
That's what KCorp needed to do. Consecutive shots. Bait out the defender, which specifically missed. Bait him out, get him out of the net, try and pull him through, and have him extend his rotation out, forced to go for a midfield boost. And we do, in fact, have a timeout called on the field for OpTic Gaming.
And a good thing, too, because you go back to their series with Renegades, they opted not to use a timeout. And then they just got blown off the field on Neo Tokyo. So at least they've learned their lesson. They're using their timeout, but now they've got to make good on it. KCorp took their timeout earlier. They got a win out of it. That kind of turned the series around for them. 2 now in a row for KCorp. Now OpTic Gaming has to, first of all, they've got to get something out of Mist offensively. He didn't have any shots there. He had a couple looks at the net that were a little bit wide. He unfortunately, as unfair as it is, has to be the guy that does it on both halves of the field.
It's so frustrating. Do you send Mist forward and jeopardize the best defensive player on your team and try and leave Alu and Dries to pick up the remaining pieces, or do you just put him in the backfield, be stuck on defense, and hope that you can get an opportunity? Camera is on Mist. That's the player who can make a difference. But when do his teammates start to step up? I think Alu has had a fantastic game with the 50-50s as well as Dries, but with the shots, that's where we're looking at them to make an impact.
With your tournament life on the line at the World Championship, your best player has to touch the ball as often as possible. Doesn't matter where it is, in front of his net, in front of their net, he has to be the guy that's going to lead OpTic to Champions Field.
He can't do it alone. Everybody needs to step up. OpTic Gaming, if you're the team that is supposed to be a contender in the World Championship, now is your time to do so, because this could be the last timeout you take this season.
And if we look on the other side, I mean, we could definitely say the same thing for Astral. We wanted him to step up. He's got to step up. But Itachi was able to get a lot of clutch goals and put the team on his back when they needed it most. We're going to be heading over to Neo Tokyo. This is where everything is on the line, Stacks, for OpTic Gaming.
OG, gotta come up in a big, big way. Gotta have the game of their lives. Otherwise, they're gonna wonder for the next 365 days what might have been. Missed over towards Dries. The defense from KCorp up to the task early on. There will be no early goal off the opening kickoff. Nolly, a decent stop, and Astral will send it away. KCorp weather the early storm.
Early storm, but this one's gonna last for a while. These 4.5 minutes are gonna tick down very slowly. And it's up to these players to not make a single mistake. As one team's trying to close this out, the other one is fighting for their life at the World Championship.
Oh, here comes Dries. I want to see him make an impact on the field. He, again, has with the 50-50s. I've always been impressed with him and Alu's ability to win those challenges, even against a mechanical KCorp, but there needs to be more creativity. Miss thrown forward. That's the player we were all highlighting. Who else steps up? Dries. Double tap off the ceiling. Doesn't lead anywhere, and there's space given to KC.
At times, the OpTic attack has more resembled a Texas rainstorm. You see the clouds rolling in, it's building up, but then you get a couple flashes of lightning and it's all over. Blue skies after that. Nolly again to the corner. It's been KCorp that has, I want to say, dominated this series, but they've had the upper hand, and it's Astral that gives them the advantage in Game 6.
He's talking about Astral, but there's also Nolly. He's chasing that one off ball. Every Everything works perfectly here for KCorp because everybody involved is playing together. Astro knew he only had a small window to put that shot on, and he does it.
And that pass, that's nasty from Itachi. The first touch, perfectly in control. He gets the wave dash, sends it into the midfield, and Astro's able to bury it home. Another shot might go in favor if he won the 50-50. Of course, it's saved by OpTic Gaming. Green Wall standing tall as they knock out the second goal opportunity, but still led in the first one.
They've given up a goal, and now their season is on the clock. OpTic have to show up here, but they let another one slip by. Itachi puts 2 up for Karmine Corp.
He will not be denied. Itachi playing like a big man now. 2-0. KCorp starting to put a stranglehold on this. OpTic have to turn it around immediately. Almost like you feel like this kickoff has to go their way. And it is as Alu bullies his way through. Missed. They got the right guy on it, but he can't stay with the play. And that gets around Dries, and nobody else can keep it in. KCorp again, the better of the two. And it could be the case when the clock hits 0.
Itachi playing out of his mind. I think he has been the MVP of the series. Here he is again. 2 consecutive 50-50 wins in a row. Goes to midfield. There's no opportunity for a shot, but still that allows so much pressure to be held for KCorp. And now the other way, it's a fast shot. Nolly, we talked about Itachi. Nolly's making a name now for himself on the field.
Halfway through game 6, and KCorp are in full control. They're sitting with a 2-goal lead. Great cushion here, but OpTic are still trying to strike back. There's plenty of time to do so, but as the clock ticks down, those opportunities are going to be less and less.
And as great a defender as Mist is, and how much we talk about OpTic's defense, it doesn't matter how much defense you play. If you can't score on your own, eventually they have to throw the sink at him.
You win.
That's going to be deflected out by Itachi as well. Just seems every time they get anywhere near the blue net, the blue wall is right there in front of them.
How tall can the blue wall stand? Because all they need to do is hold on an OpTic team that is kicking and screaming, trying to get their way back into this game, back into this series. See, Mist there, leaving it for Dries. Dries plays it across. You see Alu here in the midfield. He's trying to wait for a chance to get in.
Yeah.
But KCorp so smart, keeping the ball close to Itachi, and then Astro able to get a quick follow-up to send it all the way back downfield.
KCorp's ability to slow down the pace of play has been far greater than OpTic, who, of course, granted they're down 2 goals, are panicking every time they get the chance to slow things down. Here comes Mist. It's an early touch. He can't keep it to himself. Given away into the hands of Nolly.
To highlight how great a team overall KCorp is get a bump in front, and Astro throwing one across, just wasting more time off of the clock. It was Nolly, as we mentioned, who dominated OG the first time around, but it's Astro, 70% goal participation.
Oh, look at Itachi, look at
Itachi with 80, and he almost added another assist. Nolly's shot just a little wide, but this is all they need, guys. They just need OpTic not advancing downfield, and they just can't when KCorp is breathing down their necks like this.
Absolutely. Confidence oozing out of the veins of KCorp, winning every challenge, taking every boost, starving OpTic Gaming out of their own half. They've got 25 seconds to get back into the series, otherwise they're eliminated from the World Championship.
20 seconds left. Ball on OpTic's end. They need a drive and they need time. Dries can't catch up to it. Itachi plays it across. They may have a chance here. Mist, no, denied again. OpTic out of boost, out of time, and out of the World Championship. Karmine Corp do it.
That's it.
And that goal will seal it. They continue to move on.
Survive and advance. And a date with the Falcons awaits the blue wall, Karmine Corp. And they're all business. Maybe a little bit of relief that they got the job done on Neo Tokyo, that they avoid Champions Field, but they realize the task that's ahead of them. They have not made it into the playoffs yet. This is a team that is built for dubs, and they will not be satisfied until they're lifting the trophy at the end.
I mean, this is just ridiculous, and it's all thanks, in my opinion, to Itachi. That man was seeing the future, activating the Sharingan out here. Unreal. Really putting up a performance, and Itachi was able to put the spotlight on him, which is difficult. You've got somebody like Nolly and, of course, Astral on your team, and the spotlight's on you. That really speaks volumes about what that man is capable, especially moving forward against a tough team like the Falcons.
And when you get to this stage, and when you play in an elimination situation, sometimes you do things you didn't even think you were capable of.
Yeah.
We asked the question at the beginning of this series, which wall stood taller, and the color is blue. Karmine Corp able to take this series in 6. They don't let it go the distance, but for OpTic, as they end up falling in this series, I mean, they still put on quite a performance, but their run doesn't here.
We look back at the Mobile One high performance replay. Nolly coming up big in the second half of that game, that save, and then the dagger right through the heart of OpTic Gaming. Itachi with the assist there as well. He goes 5 goals, 4 assists. Great performance out of Itachi. Undoubtedly the MVP, as you mentioned, Turtle. Almost 80, actually a little over 80% goal participation.
Crazy.
To lead the blue wall into a date with the Falcons. That, of course, comes tomorrow. They get to rest the rest of the day. But with that matchup looming, it's hard to kind of sit back and be satisfied.
And I think that Falcons are definitely bruised right now, but still, the levels are going to have to be activated. I think you need even more out of Astral and, of course, Nolly. I think once they all 3 can pull those individual performances together, that's when they get the most deadly. So we'll see if that's possible, if that's capable tomorrow. But my, oh my, that was a delightful series. I think we got almost everything we could have out of OpTic Gaming. Just almost there. You saw them get a couple of chances, move forward. Counterattacks were clean, but holding possession was definitely the most difficult task for them.
I mean, you heard the desk before we got into this series. It felt like things were heavily in favor of Karmine Corp. They were expecting this series to be just as dominant as the last one that KC had, which was a sweep. But OpTic Gaming, who has been a team that has been improving over time, really left everything they had out there. And again, like I said, they showed that they can be a contender here, but at the end of the day, they couldn't take the series. Karmine Corp, they earned a date with Falcons.
Yes, they have. So it is the former Envy dropping out. Karmine Corp advances. Orb standing by on stage with our winners.
Thank you so much, Stacks. Please, Dickies, please give it up, all right? Astral and KCorp, making it happen when it matters the absolute most. I mean, I always like to begin very simple. Your thoughts on this series, what was going through your mind? You said you were a little bit nervous there towards the end.
Yeah, the series was really nervous. That's why we took the timeout really quick, because the nerves were getting so high for no reason. But they played good. That was actually a nice series to play.
So why do you think you were the victors in the end? What was it that made you guys pull through?
Confidence. Full-on confidence, because at the start we didn't play like we wanted. And again, the timeout helped us playing like we want, and the confidence was pretty high, and I think that's what made us win.
What do you think is your biggest strength as a team?
Sorry?
What do you think is your biggest strength as a team?
I would say, yeah, mechanical and confidence again, but the confidence has to be in the start of the series and not in the middle of it. But yeah, probably mechanical and pretty unpredictable, I think.
I mean, when you picked up Nolly, it was uncertain if you guys were going to make it here to the world stage. Obviously, a 4th place in the major. Does it already feel like you guys you've gone further than you thought you were going to be? Is it number 1 that's the only thing on your mind?
Of course, we went further, because when we picked him up, we had literally like 10% of chance to be in the major and then towards. And making it here make us to be even more hype, and just we want to play and win.
Play, and win. Now, next up, you got Falcons. What do you have in store for them coming up?
I mean, they just won players, so we will see in trees.
Listen, fierce competition. Please, Dickies, give it up one last time for KCorp. And now, we have to send the break before our next matchup, but before that, we have a little special treat for you guys. And that is, we have a new Rocket League anthem in collaboration with Mobile One, Monster Cat, and Coven. Please, do enjoy.
We've all been here before. We've all been here before.
hope you're enjoying the Worlds event this weekend. If you haven't checked out our new single, All We Needed, that we just released on Monster Cat in partnership with Mobile One, we're just about to bring you the video that we created to celebrate fans just like you. And when the weekend festivities are over, you can go onto Rocket League and make All We Needed your anthem for free, thanks to Mobile One. Good luck, guys. See you on the pitch.
We see the world in a cold light. It isn't much, but it's all we needed. It's all we needed. With everything in its right place, don't push away, 'cause it's all we needed. To control and
This is perfection! This is popcorn! This is press! This is Dickies Arena!
Hey guys. Oh. Rocket League.